Welcome everyone. I'm so glad you're here. Today I'm going to show you how I make this rainbow and cloud and shamrock card for St. Patrick's Day. Come along and enjoy the fun. Today I'm using a marker that has a chiseled end on one side and a fine point on the other. I begin my card by sweeping with the red at the top and making a long arc that sets the shape for my rainbow. And when I make rainbows, I like to use the scientific colors red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo. Each time I choose a new color, I try to sweep in a parallel line to the previous color so that I have a constant arc of the same width all the way down through my rainbow. Now as you see here, I'm filling in a little bit of space where I accidentally pulled my line down a little further than the line above it. And so I just fixed it up and I'm ready to go with my next color. As I'm figuring my rainbow, you can see that it has a pretty straight edge over on the left side and it goes over to the edge of the paper on the other side. I like to put a piece of paper underneath the edge if I think I'm going to be going over. And for me, I just can't get all the way to the edge without going slightly over the edge. So I cut out a piece of paper bag and use that underneath to protect my surface. My last marker was a little bit light, so after I went over the line once, I just went back and went over it again. The more times I go over my lines with the marker, the darker they get. And also because I'm using an alcohol-based instead of a water-based marker, it's a lot easier for me to do just a little bit of blending. I want my cloud to be puffy, so I start making swirl. And wherever there's a space where the swirl's the wrong direction, I can just make a little curved line. And my rainbow is a pretty straight line like a block, and so I'm going to be careful while I'm making these swirls so that I don't run into it, and also I'm going to think about how I'm going to be filling in the spaces later, which I can do with the fine tip of the marker after the clouds are done. I think most people would find these swirls easier to make very smooth if they turn their page a little for more comfortable angles. When you're doing yours, turn your paper as many times as you need to make it as comfortable as possible. When I'm showing you on the video, I just like to make it easier for you to see. I add a few finishing touches to my clouds, and then I use the fine point of my marker to fill in the little spaces so that the lines continue and don't leave a little square blocky spot in between the rainbow and the clouds. After I finish filling in all the little spots on my rainbow, I'm going to begin making some shamrocks. I picked a shamrock from the plant that I have at home because I wanted you to see the actual shape of a shamrock. When I draw mine, I actually make little hearts, so mine are not quite as angular as the actual shamrocks. They look more like three-leaf clovers that we have here where I live. When I fill in the last little bit of violet on my rainbow, I want to make sure that it comes right down to the curve of that cloud and it doesn't sort of hang over the edge or end in a square. If I needed to, I could add one more little swirl onto my cloud to make it meet up. Each of my little shamrocks is made of 3 connected hearts with a little stem. The first shamrock I made, I held my pen on the paper the entire time and never lifted it up between the hearts, and I did the same thing with the second shamrock. But on the third shamrock, I lifted the pen up in between the different leaves of the shamrock, and that worked out fine too, so I think you can do it either way, whatever is more comfortable for you. So I just continued drawing my little shamrocks and filling in the spaces where it looked like I could use another shamrock. It's nice to me to fill in the big white spaces and just continue to look at my drawing. Even you can see here I'm filling in all of my shamrocks in another color, and then I say, oh look, it looks like it'd be nice to have one over there too. So I added another one. And when I'm doing finishing touches on drawings, I often go back and add one little thing here, one little piece there, fill in something, or I'll notice a line is missing. I think it's good to continually look at your drawing while you're making it and think about what you would want to do in order to bring balance to your overall picture. I go back and finish coloring my shamrocks in the rest of the way, and then I notice there is an extra large spot down at the bottom with a white space, so I add one more shamrock down at the bottom. That completes my shower of shamrocks. When I go up to complete my cloud, I use a lighter color of blue than I did before. This is another spot where I would typically turn my paper in order to make it easier to get a smooth edge, because as I color the clouds, I like to go to the edge of the cloud and make a line right at the edge, or use the shape of the circle right at the edge to fill it in, and so that just makes it easier to get from all angles. You can see I slowed down just a little bit at the violet color. When I was all done, I took a look at my card and I noticed that although I used two different colors on each of my shamrocks, I wanted them to pop just a little bit more. So I got a very dark green color and I outlined all of my shamrocks with the dark green. At this final step, I added not just color, but also contour and contrast. So it made it a lot easier to see the exact shape of each of the petals or leaves on the shamrocks. After I finish outlining the rest of the shamrocks, then I am ready to sign my card and share it out with someone and wish them good luck and a happy St. Patrick's Day. And I wish you good luck too, and I hope that you had fun with this drawing. If you are enjoying these drawing tutorials and you'd like to see more, please like and subscribe, because that will help these get back to you again, and I'll be posting another one every week. Take care.